Eala bears friends she has made in her young WTA career. Filipina rising star bears she has forged relationships with former players that have made life on the road more bearable and a little less lonely. For much of her life, Eala has lived differently from most women her age. While others spent their teen years in classrooms, school events, and boring home routines, the Filipina tennis star grew up traveling the world, training and competing in the hard-knuckle environment of professional tennis where the norm is fighting for wins, points, and world rankings. It's not an easy place to be in. The pressure is everywhere. You want to go where your abilities bring you. But to get there, you may have to step on some toes, create enmities, and battle many demons. Read on Women's Day, Eala pays tribute to her amazing mom. When you think you are alone in the pursuit of your objectives, you suddenly realize that many of your fellow competitors have the same thoughts, feelings, and fears. Then the moment comes when, in the dog-eat-dog world where they operate, they realize there can also be room for kindness, empathy, and yes, friendship. On International Women's Day on Sunday, Eala reflected on the strong bonds she has built with fellow players across the WTA Tour, relationships that have made life on the road more bearable and a little less lonely. I think this year one of my resolutions is to try to be more social, come out of my shell a little bit, and I'm happy I created a lot of friendships on tour, Eala shared. Among those friendships are moments both on and off the court. This week at Indian Wells, for instance, she teamed up in doubles with American teenager Iva Jovic, who is not just someone she picked from a list, but someone she considers a close friend. This week I've played with Iva Jovic, we're really good friends. She's super fun, she said. But the circle extends beyond just one teammate. Eala spoke fondly about other players who have become part of her support system while navigating the demands of the tour. One of my best friends, not just on tour but in life, is Zeynep Sonmez. I've grown really close with her, she said. She also mentioned Victoria Mboko and Eva Liss as her other friends on tour. I'm surrounded by so many amazing women. She also talked of the unique bond she shares with players who have Filipino roots, saying that having come from the same ethnicity, they naturally gravitate toward each other. Among them are Canada's Leila Fernandez and Australia's Lizette Cabrera, who are both Instagram mutuals of Eala. I've also bonded with other half-Filipinos on tour, she added. For Eala, those relationships are more than just casual friendships. They are connections built on shared experiences from being a tour pro where they all feel the pressure of playing and winning while pursuing dreams of success at a very young age. I'm grateful I was able to build these friendships, she said. We understand each other. Then she summed it up in a way that perfectly showed the spirit of the day. Eala said, "It's girlhood." Get more of the latest sports news and updates on spin.ph. Notice on unauthorized and unlawful use, publication, and/or dissemination of spin.ph content. Please be notified that any unauthorized and unlawful use, publication, and/or dissemination of spin.ph's content and/or materials is a direct violation of its legal and exclusive rights to the same, and shall be subject to appropriate legal action/s. Title: The Friends Along the Journey, Eala's Young WTA Family. In the demanding world of professional tennis, the spotlight often falls on fierce competition, rankings, and titles. The courts are arenas of intense rivalry where every point matters and every match can change a career. Yet behind the baseline battles and flashing scoreboards, another story quietly unfolds, one of friendships, support, and shared dreams. For young Filipino tennis star Eala, her early years on the WTA Tour have not only been about chasing victories but also about discovering a circle of friends who understand the unique life of a professional athlete. The beginning of a global journey. When Eala stepped onto the professional circuit as a teenager, she entered a world far bigger than the tennis courts she had grown up on in the Philippines. Traveling from country to country, adapting to different cultures, and competing against some of the world's best players could have been overwhelming. Yet, tennis, in its own special way, connects people. Players who face each other across the net often end up sitting together in locker rooms, sharing practice sessions, and even exploring cities together between tournaments. For Eala, these interactions quickly transformed into friendships. The young star realized that while matches end in winners and losers, the journey of being a young athlete on the global stage creates a bond few outside the sport can truly understand. Shared beginnings with rising stars. One of the most remarkable aspects of Eala's early WTA career is that many of her friends are also rising talents who grew up playing in junior tournaments. Before the bright lights of professional events, they had already crossed paths in junior competitions such as the US Open Junior Championships and the Australian Open Junior Championships. Players like Linda Noskova, Diana Schneider, and Victoria Jimenez Casanseva represent the new generation of women's tennis. Many of them progressed through the same junior circuits, competing fiercely during matches but laughing together once the rackets were packed away. These shared early experiences built a foundation of respect and friendship that carried over into the professional tour. Eala has often spoken about how comforting it feels to see familiar faces in tournaments across the world. In a sport where athletes spend much of their time away from home, these friendships can feel like a second family. Life on tour. More than just tennis. The life of a WTA player is not as glamorous as it may seem from the outside. Weeks of travel, constant training, and the pressure to perform can be exhausting. Yet for young players like Eala and her friends, small moments between matches make the experience memorable. Sometimes it is something simple, grabbing dinner after a long practice session, walking around a tournament city, or sharing stories about their latest matches. In cities like Madrid, Melbourne, or New York City, young players often explore together when their schedules allow. These brief adventures help them relax and momentarily forget the pressures of competition. Eala once shared that conversations with fellow players often revolve around everyday topics rather than tennis. They talk about music, movies, favorite foods, and life back home. These simple interactions remind them that despite their professional careers, they are still young people discovering the world. A special bond with fellow young champions. Among Eala's circle of friends, some relationships stand out because of shared milestones. For instance, competing in Grand Slam junior tournaments created unforgettable memories. Winning the girls' doubles title at the French Open Junior competition marked one of the early highlights of Eala's career. Achievements like this often come with celebrations shared with fellow players who understand exactly how hard it is to reach such moments. Many of her peers have also celebrated their own breakthroughs. When a friend reaches a new ranking milestone or wins a major match,